Good morning, my people. It is bright and sunny here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and whoa, it has been one heck of a ride. And I just want to thank you for your patience and your understanding as my family and I have gone through some pretty chaotic times the last month. And it, ironically enough, it's what I was asking for. It's what I've been asking the universe for 4.5, 5 years. I'm trying to really just figure out what was going on in my family. And then once I figured it out, it was like, how do I tackle it? And that how do I tackle it has been like the last 2.5 years. And I know it seems like a lot because really there's a lot of people in this world that wear masks that say one thing on the front and then behave a different way on the back end, in your home, in your life. And that causes a lot of confusion for the whole world. That's really what the whole world is going through right now. When you look at government and celebrities and education and healthcare and all of that, for example, it's that when the reality is people wake up and they see the truth behind the masks. And when that happens, things get messy. And I went into functional human design when we started building it, and I was like, I'm just going to have to build it messy because I don't know how else to get out of this situation. I don't know. I've tried every other path, and this was the path that I was like, okay, let's just see what happens. And it's worked, and it is working, and there is such a sense of freedom on the other side, even though it has looked so messy. The kids and I we've been in Albuquerque for just over 2 weeks. We spent about 8 days getting here from Vegas. It's normally like a 1-day drive, but we took our time and needed to really relax and recenter and find our own energy in the process. One of the things that I haven't realized was how important environment is to us. Like, I've always known that. And we talk about like astrocartography, where it's like you can see the lines based on your astrology, like where it's best for you to live. And that is really important. But I think what is more important is the energy of your household and your energy and how it interacts with the people that you're responsible for or partnered with. And when you have energy suppression, it is a lot to try to break out of that and to feel something different. And so I have, like, in my design, and I think in all designs, like, I have a crisis response, like how I function when I'm in survival. And that is very different than how I function when I'm not in survival. And I have been working with survival, I think, my entire life, because I've always been on this cutting edge of dismantling systems and saying, once I see the truth behind the veil of a system, I just can't participate with it anymore. And that's a challenging place to be in, because, like, how do you just opt out of needing law enforcement or needing Western medical care or like needing government support in some way? And it's been one hell of a journey of saying, I am responsible for me. I'm responsible for my family. I can handle things on my own. And really, I believe that that's the world that all of us are moving into. Not necessarily as willingly as I did it, but as these systems are not available. Like, people are seeing how the systems aren't available to actually support us, to actually help us. That means we need to find resources and education on our own in order to be able to handle these situations. One of the first that always hit me was that law enforcement was something that has never been safe to me. And that part of that is just being trafficked into the adult industry. When I was young, like, law enforcement were some of my biggest predators and exploiters. Like, they were just generally awful. And so as I left the industry, I was like, how am I going to live where most people are like, oh, something happens, you just call the cops. And how do you live without that backup? How do you live handling your own justice? And it is wildly different. And I've learned so much. Gosh, I think it's been about 20 years of the only time I've ever called law enforcement is for like an automobile accident. And that it makes sense because you have to have people to block the road and there's insurance and all of those things. So my journey really for the last 30 years has been about exiting systems and saying no more. How do I build a system that works for me outside of the system where I'm not breaking any laws, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just simply living differently. And that has brought out in me a different level of protectiveness, a different level of self-respect and honor for myself. And it was like, even when I left Reed for the first time back in 2020, I would have happily gone to like a DV shelter or something of that point, of that sort. But I couldn't because I had boys that were over the age that could go into most women's facilities. And I could not put my kids in foster care. Like, that was just not okay. And so I had to figure out something different because I had 2 boys and 2 girls, and they were all they were younger and teenagers. And I was like, I just can't do that to them. And so this journey has been about figuring out my own sovereignty, my own pathway out when there isn't support, when there isn't people available to help you. How do you make those moves on your own? And to me, that's what human design has really helped me with. It hasn't helped me find myself. It's helped me identify the parts of me that I already knew were me, but had been so gaslit by myself, by Reed, by my family, by society. It's helped me say, no, those are the parts of me. This is who I am, and this is what I actually need. And I'm not going to second guess or question myself because it resonates so deeply in my body. And that actually brings me to one of my daughters who was asking me the other night. She's like, I just hate that word alignment. Why? Alignment's a stupid word. She's like, I don't want to align to human design. And I'm like, why would you align to human design? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because to me, alignment is not alignment to a system or anything outside of ourselves. It's alignment to ourselves, our bodies, our nervous systems. I align with who I am, and human design helps me do that better because I can feel the resonance in my body. I have come a very long way. Like, I've only been in human design or in that arena for the last 5 years, but I've been following my body for 30 years. And you get to this point where it's like, you have these micro adjustments that you're like right there. You need to make these micro adjustments and you don't know how. And that's how human design has really radically transformed my life, not just with my charts, but being able to see other people's charts, like specifically in my family, and be like, wow, okay, there's just huge shadows here, and this is why we're not participating well. This is why we're not working well together. And that energy, when you're finally able to move out of the energy that had my body in such survival, in such like paranoia, always walking on eggshells, waiting, all these metaphors, waiting for the next shoe to drop, waiting for the next thing. It's like these metaphors were just so real in my body, and it's taken a few weeks for them to like release their hold. And I've been doing all this somatic work, working on my hips and shoulders, deep nervous system stuff. And it is amazing the ease and clarity that comes when you're consciously doing it, but then also experimenting with the energies around you. So this is getting long. Really, this is the thing that I want to leave with you guys. There are some things in my chart that make me highly, highly sensitive and highly susceptible to energies and people around us. One of them, of course, we have the pressure centers, the head and the root. But for me, my G center being undefined means that I absorb and amplify everything around me, all the energies around me. And that's really like a big deal, because whatever I'm around, I'm kind of embodying, and it's not like something that I can choose to not do. I just have to choose better environments. And that's fascinating. Oh, look, I'm by the train yard. It's so fun here. I've got trains with like super awesome like graffiti all over it. But the second part is being a triple split. And my triple split says that it's like I feel all the different bridgings of different people all around me, and being able to identify what the heck's going on inside of me and why am I so sensitive? Why am I feeling these things? The triple split, the open G center, those have been my guides as to like even where we're staying. Gosh, I hope you can hear me. They're revving up a train or doing something. They're warming it up. So it's just been a fascinating journey of really feeling into my body, trusting it even more. Like I've been trusting my body for feels like forever, but now I'm able to feel it in a different way. And so welcome to the experiment. Like if this is something that if human design is something that you're experimenting with, like just jump, do the things, find your path, because you're worth it. It's not easy. Like this life isn't easy, but the polarity and the joy and the freedom that can come. When we moved into this Airbnb, I was like, oh, where we got this. It's like the energy of the place is just so different. Whereas prior, we spent a week in a place just a few miles from here and it felt so funky. So I'm encouraging you to just know yourself and feel. And I wish I would have quit gaslighting myself a gazillion years ago, second guessing myself, just not sure what's going on here. Human design gave me the confidence to just be like, no, this is my shit, and you're not making it comfortable. So that's it. Okay, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for your patience as we went through this. I am so excited about what the kids and I have rolling forward. Like I am thrilled to my core, because we're just planning fun stuff. And I'm super excited. Okay, I love you tons. We'll talk to you later. Bye.